After his transfer from Aigle Konsamba to Canon of Yaoundé, Kaham Michel sealed his place as a defender in Canon and in the national team. What was the secret to this success? Kaham has a story. But again, remember that Kaham played professional football. He was in France, he played with Valenciennes, and ended up in the United States of America. Let Kaham tell us all those stories.
I was a young defender, that's the first thing, but very smart and intelligent. So when this new coach came in Cameroon, Peter Schneider, he learned how to move from behind to up front and to make a pass for a goal and then to shoot on goal. So he started playing by moving up and down on the right side. What most of the defenders were not able to do. So I succeed doing it, and many teams. So I become like the high standard right football player in Cameroon at that time. So there was no discussion. In Cameroon, I was the first. My play was there. Nobody can challenge it. And even to the national team, I keep playing the right side. But knowing that I moved after Europe, then I even turned back to the national team for some time. But I believe at that time I was a very good defender, especially intelligent, because I had something to read the game ahead, to anticipate. What most of the defenders were just react, I was there to think, to anticipate, to cut and take it, and I'd be very smart. And that was one of my strengths. Also, I was young, I was pure, I had a good life, and very disciplined. So, physically I was very tough also, so I have no problem.
How did Kaham react when Canon had to play against Konsamba?
Well, it was a match, like a whole match. I went to Konsamba. It was very difficult. I can say that it was very difficult because some few fans can just shout a little bit, but we were a better team, so we just beat Aigle. And my reaction was just that we won, and then you have nothing to do. You just do your job, and then even if you don't celebrate it, very. Let's say, in some manner, you just respect the team, but you play your game. When you play, you play. Then the result, we beat Aigle Konsamba, but because we had a better team, and most of them, of the fans, was happy to see me play in the higher team. Seeing that I'm progressing.
Canon Tonnerre 1974 in the Cup of Cameroon final. It went the way of Tonnerre. How did Kaham take it?
Very bad, very bad. You saw many things happen to me in that stadium, Fandena. I remember the African Cup of Nations losing to Congo, then this match against Tonnerre, the cup final. We had a better team. We were sure that everything was done to win. Even after the match, everything was prepared so that we would make a celebration because we had a very, very, very good team. But that day, it's just like that. The ball didn't get in, hit the back post, hit the post, go this way. Then we became nervous at halftime, then they scored that goal. And they ended up by winning by 1-0. But it was just that the underdog, we ended up by winning the cup final. But it was very, very difficult for us because we were prepared to win the championship and the cup. And we were sure, proud to do the cup. As you know, cup is like a celebration. It's everything we're prepared to have a good, good night and everything. And you have to close the door and do it. But that's the way football is also. When someday you win, someday you lose. The thing is just to give the best you can give when you play, and they say that, okay, that's what happen.
Why did Kaham leave Canon?
Let's say in the year of 1974, the national team had let's say a tour in China. That was in 1974 by the end, and that came close to the time of baccalaureate. So at that time there was 2 sessions, first part, the second part. So I missed the first part, then I was qualified to attend the second part of the session, who normally take place in September. So came this thing of making a tour in China. So at that time they said, okay, you have to go with this national team. So they took us, Makongo, I don't know what else. They went to China. And instead of staying 3 weeks, we stayed almost 2 months. Then we were just about 10 days, to complete the second session. Then they say, okay, see you have to do your baccalaureate, so just move ahead. We are staying here, so go. I have 10 days to prepare my exam. So I failed. So I say, okay, I'm moving to Europe. I just say, no, I'm going. I don't stay any longer here. But when I see Congo Ferdinand, I say, okay, help me. He just signed the paper, seeing he was a big guy. He said, give me the visa, the passport, at once like this. Then he say, okay, you can leave. Then I went to France. I had a friend in Stade Rennais, which is Lea Yumsha, who was my friend in Konsamba also. I gave him a call, he was doing practice. Then he came back to practice. Then we sat down, we discussed. They said, okay, now here in Rennes, we are full of foreign players, so there is no room here. We are going to make a few calls around here. So we went and see Segoulin, that was the team coach. Then he called a few teams. Then he ended up by calling Stade Kemperois of Kemper, Stade Kemperois. Then he said, okay, then I should come for a tryout. I just make 2 practice, 2 sessions, then I signed in Kemper. So now I signed, they even offered me a car, a vehicle. I have no permit, driving license. So I have to leave the car there, then go up to do my driving license first before taking the car. And then that was a new beginning.
Okay. And after Kemper?
After Kemper, I went to Tours FC. Tours was a big team. It was a professional team in Tours. They went there, they will move in 2 years, 77, 78, they will move up to the first division with Tours. Then they asked me to take a national statue, that made to become a French citizen.
Yes,
at that time, I was so scared. They told me that, no, if you take a French statue, you cannot go back to Cameroon. You will lose your nationality. I said, no way. And I refused. I refused. Then they moved me to Valenciennes, the first division. So I played in Valenciennes, in first division. That's why I lived there. Then from there, I had a really bad injury in my knee in Valenciennes that season. So I struggled. And by the end of the season, it seems to be that I'm going to have a very problem. So I came back to Kemper. So it was my hometown. They know I said, I have a knee injury, I need you to help me. Came back there, said they gave me time to work on my knee. And then came the match against Morocco for the World Cup. I played the World Cup with a knee, let's say at 80%, not 100%.
Okay.
Because I come from Kemper. Since it was World Cup. And I left Cameroon, I can remind you, in 1975. I never showed up because I was very sad against the national team because of what they did for me. Because at that time, in 1974 also, I passed the exam to become a professor, like everybody was doing, ENGS.
ENGS.
So because of, I failed the back, I could not go over there. So I said, okay, I'm in. So I turned a page for the national team. So in 1981, when Kahams saw the match Cameroon-Morocco, they just they were pushing, writing, blackmailing me, saying that if you don't come to that match, it's very important, you are there playing, you must come, you must come, you must come. So I came, so we played the 2 matches. And then Morocco and Kevitra here, we qualified for the World Cup, and that was a good story. So we played the World Cup, and that's it.
Before we go, Mr. Kaham, what took you to America?
Let's say in 1982, we played the World Cup. with Jean-Pierre Tokoto. He's a good friend of mine who was already in America, living in America. Then he said, okay, Michael, you're already 31 years old, 30, so come and try with me in America. And there was a match playing in New York Stadium, something like that, after the World Cup. Was the rest of the war against, I don't know, America, something like that. So I took my visa, I went with Tomankon also, Tokoto. So we went to New York, we saw the match, they played the match. After the match, I remained with Tokoto. They direct me to Cleveland, one of the, because I knew people over there. Then I went over there, the same thing, first round, that was it. So I spent 6 years in Cleveland. Cleveland Fox was an indoor soccer team. Then I with my family, then we stayed there up to 1970, let's say 87.
Okay.
In 1988, I decided to come back home to Beckenbauer. Then, when I was in America, I tried also to have my coach license and everything. Then I came back home,